Friends, we have another poem. It's a celebration of natural beauty. I have just told you about William Wordsworth, who was adoring, admiring nature in its lush beauty, and he couldn't sleep a number of nights, and he was overwhelmed by the natural beauty. Here, sunrise on the hills is a beautiful celebration of the sunrise. Its pictorial representation is done through this poem. Okay, and let's go to the poem. In tune with American Romanticism, H.W. Longfellow admires nature as a deity of serenity and solace. And W.H. Longfellow, and he is an American poet. And there was a literary movement in America. It is American Romanticism, and in tune with American Romantic movement in literature, this poet admires nature as the deity. Deity means as the god of serenity, calmness, quietness, and solace, peace of mind, because it brings you peace of mind, serenity. Okay, then you get happier and cooler. It is the celebration of the healing power of nature from distress. This poem highlights the healing power of nature. Nature has got a power to heal your wounds if you are in distress. The rustic beauty of sunrise is venerated in visual ecstasy and portrayed in vivid words. The rustic beauty, the village beauty of the sunrise, when sun is rising in a remote village, and that beauty is venerated, admired in visual ecstasy, in visual pictures, and portrayed in vivid words. In vivid words, that whole picture is presented and portrayed by the poet. Here, sun is compared to a mighty emperor whose returning march brightens woods, valleys, clouds, waterfall, and mountains. The sun is rising, and it is just like a powerful, strong, mighty emperor. And it's returning march, and that king, that emperor, is going back home. Returning march brightens when it comes. When this emperor sun comes, it brightens, it shines the nearby woods, forests, valleys, clouds, waterfall, mountains, etc. It is brightened. In the mellow blush of the dawn, noisy bittern wheel their spiral way to horizon. Mellow blush of the day is blushed with the red rays coming from the rising sun, and it is beautiful sight. Noisy bittern, and in that beautiful morning, noisy bittern wheel their spiral way to horizon, and these birds are heading towards horizon in spiral way, and that sight, that movement is there, brought to mind by the poet's choice of words. The mesmerizing sound of a distant waterfall dashing against a rocky cliff, and the melodious music of the village bell reverberating in the neighborhood takes us to an enchanting world of fairy tales. The mesmerizing sound, the attractive, charming sound of a distant waterfall, the sound, the fall of that water is there in your ears, dashing against, this waterfall is dashing against a rocky cliff, and the melodious music of the village bell in the morning, in the dawn, that music of that melody of the village bell reverberating, echoing in the neighborhood, in that area. And all these takes the reader to an enchanting world, to a magical world of fairy tales. The woods were bending with a silent reach as if to kiss the blue lake's silver beach. The woods there, and they are silently bending down towards the lake with a silent reach. And the lake's beach is silver colored. Right here, the woods, the trees can be compared to a lover, and the lover is bending with his hands, reaching his hand, extending his hand to touch silver beach of the blue lake, to kiss. The lover is the trees, and the beloved is the silver beach. The poem ends with an amazing philosophy that nature is a kind hypnotherapist and an empathetic physician to prescribe a universal panacea for all the ailments, both physical and mental. First part of the poem, and the lion's share of the poem is the celebration of the beauty of the sunrise and nature at sunrise. And there are 4 or 5 lines, the last stanza of the poem. It's a philosophy, a beautiful philosophy is put forward by the poet. And the philosophy is, nature is a kind hypnotherapist. And hypnotherapist, a psychoanalyst, is probing deep into the mind of the patient, mental patient, and he is trying to remove all those complexes imprinted in his mind. And the hypnotherapist is very kind and loving to the mental patient, and then only he can cure his problems. And nature is just like a kind therapist and an empathetic physician, and he is trying to feel the same with you. That is the empathetic physician, and both of them are prescribing a universal panacea for all the ailments, both physical and mental, all your ailments, all your illness and diseases. Even if it is physical and mental, you can cure, you can solve all ailments with a single panacea, single tablet. What is that tablet medicine that you are going to take? The nature. Be with nature. Go to the lap of nature. All modern day lifestyle diseases find their roots in the disturbed psyche, which runs after wealth and luxury and runs away from tranquility and solace. And modern day lifestyle diseases, sugar, pressure, etc. You can find the roots of these diseases from the disturbed mind. If your mind is tensed, if it is disturbed, you have a number of worries inside. Why? This mind runs after wealth, runs after luxury, and we are running away from tranquility, from solace, from calmness, from consolation, from solace. And this calmness you have to acquire if you are with nature. The mother calls her children always to her lap. Who is the mother here? M capital letter. Who is the mother? Mother Nature calls all her children to her lap. Just like a loving mother, our nature, our earth, this beauty calls you, eager to feed with energy and vitality, and this nature is ready to feed us, to give us food with what are those food items? Energy and vitality. The nature is trying to infuse in us. We are part of her. We are part of nature. We are one of the many creatures here, but we don't feel so, and but refuse to be. We are part of her, but we refuse to be a part of nature. We feel that nature is something separated from us. Okay, if we are ready to know the Almighty, whatever we talk, God comes into the forefront. Why? Because everything begins from Him. You should try to know who the Almighty is, the God is, and take the nourishment He offers through nature. Actually, the Almighty God is offering this nature and the nourishment and everything this nature offers to us by God. You can live here happier if you take the nourishment offered by the nature, and you can live here happier, calmer, and live here cooler and smoother. When you live here, you will be calm and happy. When you leave this world, you will be cooler and smoother. Okay, this is a small appreciation of the poem. Okay.